Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're working on a set of tools for dulcimer players. Today we want to focus on a metronome, and I'm doing this as kind of a surprise pop-up session just because I have a little time this weekend. We're not going to go very far on this. We're just going to get a UI, user interface, in place, and Monday we'll be back on our normal schedule, and we will work on loading an initial load of data into our list of songs. So this is just sort of looking ahead to a new feature and doing a little work on it. Just because I can, I guess. All right, so a metronome, if you're not a musician, you probably don't know this torture device, but it's something that makes noise at a steady pace. And the original ones were like a little backwards clock. There's a little bar swinging back and forth, and it would do a tick tock, or maybe a tick tick or whatever, and at a steady pace. And the running joke is that, they're sneaky, and while you're playing, they speed up and slow down. But when you stop and listen, no, it's steady, Now, an online one, we can be a little fancier. And so what I'm proposing to do for this one is we're going to put the time signature up top. So it's something like 4/4 or 3/8 or something like that. And then that grid beneath it is going to be different sounds you could set. So maybe on beat, I think tick, tock, pock. That's kind of the sounds in my head for this thing. So tick's a little quiet, tock's a little louder, pock's a little bigger. Maybe we allow multiple ones. I don't know if I want to allow multiples, but if I did, I would allow a pock and a tick at the same time on beat 1, and then on beat 2, just a tock, and then back to the tock and tick, and then just a tick. So kind of a little rock rhythm, kick drum, boom, kind of thing. But you could set them all the same. You could only put one on the first beat. You can do it how you want it. And then beneath that, the quarter note. So if it was 4/4, the bottom 4 means quarter note. Quarter note gets what's the beats per minute. Well, maybe it's 76, and then we have minus and plus. I suppose I could let you type in that too, but it's a control for that, and then a little slider to let you just kind of move your finger and get it approximately how you want it. Maybe we need on-off buttons too. I don't know, but if we get this done, that'll be a step. All right. I haven't done any work in the app for this yet, so we're going to start with. Let's see. Let's go to the content view, and I'll just close these others. All right. And so our pattern has been, let's go to this. This is our top level kind of entry page. There are different tools. It's really just a toolkit. Each one has this kind of high level button, and we just add another one of these at the top level. So let's go ahead and do that. And I don't know what it most is like. Maybe calendar tile, because that's the least defined thing we have. Okay. Let's just take a copy of this and use that as a starting point. So I'm going to create a new folder, which is Metronome, and we'll take calendar tile. Why isn't it with calendar? Where is that thing? Front page. Okay. I don't know if that's the right place for it or not. Okay, and this will become metronome tile. I shouldn't do a rename because it'll probably rename some stuff I want to keep. Okay. And this is metronome. There is a metronome icon. And then we have the view here. We're going to need a metronome view. Okay. And I'm going to do, I don't know what this thing looks like. We put some stuff in here. Okay. We'll just make something empty and new for our metronome. New file from template. All right, and back to this. Well, Metronome View doesn't need any of this stuff. Calendars, events, no. We'll just... And usually we're doing TDD in these sessions for the business logic side of things, but today it's just going to basically be focused on UI. So let's see, that's SE. Is it we're opening a new one? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Oh, I didn't add it to my content view. I actually prefer running the more mid-sized guy. Okay, but content view. And I'm just kind of going alphabetically, but and I don't know, this ID thing, I got to work out something better. They just have to be different. I don't know if I should renumber them or if I'm going to be able to put them all in a big array and just use the index as a number. Okay, but let's try that. Now it's got to start a new phone up, but it'll be a second. And I think I'll just close this one for now. Okay, and yeah, there's a little metronome picture and TikTok. All right. Let's see. We already know we need to get a background on this thing so the pink text shows up. Well, we've been using this dark brown for things, and calendar view is going to have. We can borrow the structure from there. Okay, let's see if that does any better. Oh, my editor, here we go. Okay, that was relatively quick. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to this. So we need well, we need to build this structure. I don't know if well, let's do that. Let's make a struct for it. Time signature. Do I already have that? I do. Okay, let's try a different name. Well, it can be a time signature view. Okay, and this thing can be a VStack. I'm just going to put something basic for now. And oh, I gotta do var body. Okay. And we'll put this in here. Okay. Actually, let's check this in. We've got enough to do the new files and all that stuff, but we'll just make sure this does something. I'm hoping it compresses itself horizontally so the divider just looks okay there, but we'll see. Yeah, doesn't look very good. Okay. Anyway, let's check it in. All right. Now, time signatures really normally a pair of integers, but they're constrained on the bottom. I mean, really, the range, it can be anything. I mean, there are fancy time signatures at like 3 + 2 / 4 and stuff like that. But for the kind of music we're doing, that just doesn't happen. Mostly they're going to be 4 or 8. You might see a 2 once in a while, and maybe even less, a 16, but you won't see other stuff. Whereas classical music, if they want to have 19/64, they do it, you know. All right. I don't know if we want to wrap a little type around that, but there has to be, we want selectors of some sort, you know, so it's a little range, maybe a little drop down and a plus minus, I think. Stepper. I don't know. It's been a while since I used a stepper. He's going to need a model on increment, escaping void. Okay. On decrement, on editing changed. Okay, let's go find an example. Okay. Yeah. Okay, here's a set of colors, increment step, wrap around. Okay, I don't know what the editing changed thing does for you. Colors. So you need to put the thing you're showing here. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Well, let's kind of imitate that a little bit. Numerator, I'm just going to make it 1.12. And maybe even 2. I've seen liturgical music with 1 something in it, but 1 and stuff like that, but never folk music. And let's see what we can do with the stepper then. So we put the display here. Is that what it is? And the increment step. Okay, we need the state. Okay. Call this numerator range. Let's start it out at 4 because that's really, they call it common time for a reason, 4/4. Okay, stepper. And then on increment and on decrement. Okay, and we'll just display that text. Oops. And I don't know. Increment, we're going to do +1. So it's the minimum of numerator range. Do I have a last? Oh, upper bound. Upper bound. And, oh, the guess was right. Okay. So I increment and do that. And then this one, numerator equals max of numerator range dot lower bound and numerator. Why isn't it guessing this one? Makes me more nervous. Okay. And I don't know, let's see if we can do previews. I don't know if this will work or I have to pull it to a separate file. No, it might. Okay. What's that 3? Oh, I left it in there. Okay. Now that's really, there must be a style for these steppers because that's really ugly. Oh, that's the style it likes? Yuck. That's really not pretty. So that must be my text, right? Yeah. Okay. Ugh. I'm about ready to not, I have an account on there, but I get tired of every article I got to pay for. So bad. I do pay for this though, so that's justifiable. All right. Yeah, I think, well, there's a better, that probably is a better way to do this. All right, let's do that. Steppers values value this. Okay. Oh, but it does limit it. Okay. Is there a stepper style? No. Does that help anything? No, I'm just not liking the look of this thing. Okay, also, we're going to have to do some abstraction at some point on these because the top view needs to know the time signature as well. So it's going to have to be a value passed back. Let's go back to portrait. Okay. So I'm going to make my own. All right. Yeah, I think that will be the same. I think I need to do that. Okay. And I'll give it var body of some view. Okay, but he needs something that is, he's going to need a binding to something. So var value of I'm just going to make this over a type, I guess, for now. I don't know if that'll be okay. Okay. Stepper value is numerator. Dollar numerator. Okay. That's a step forward, believe it or not. All right. So this thing then is going to be a horizontal stack. And he's going to have a button. And I always forget which way you do these. There's a lot of buttons, aren't there? Yeah. I can give it the title. Title and action, that might be okay. Minus And then oh yeah. All right, and then some styling on the button. Who said exploring? Yeah, I can give it my own fancy style. Okay. And I think close enough to the stepper, that rounded rectangle with this thing in it would be fine. And then I don't know if we could say dot font dot large title. What would that look like? Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so digging deeper and deeper. All right, well, let's make a button style. So you just subclass this, you give it the make body, and this is probably a good enough starting point. From stepper button style. Okay, don't I put it in style? Button style, not just style. I forget what my accent color is. Green. No, we want more defined ones. Special text color. Now, why is he not? And I don't want the scale effect. But we probably... kind of depends what this thing is going to look like on the dark. I'm not sure how to express it. So I'm using this palette of these 4 colors and trying to pick the names to do it. Maybe it's palette middle. I don't know if the green will be enough contrast. All right, let's just keep moving. Palette middle 2. Some view conform to shape style. A little less corner. A little more corner. Okay. And then on this whole H deck, I'm going to put that large font. Might be too much, but we'll see. Okay. That's progress. Put the same style on the other one. Yeah, I don't know if that's a little too big, but then I think this, oh, simulated. Yeah, that's not active yet. All right. I don't know. I'm starting to feel constrained by my data types here a little bit. I mean, this we could just increment it. Plus, but I don't think value is going to be, well, plus equals 1. Yeah, I haven't constrained my type enough to make that an option. Maybe I should do what they do and just have an on increment and an on decrement function. Let's put a range. And I actually want to make this array of t. Okay, that's not going to fly, but all right. So this lets me switch this to if I just do a map, will that do it? int has num. Prefer using array of seek. Okay. Okay. And then this needs range is numer range. And it doesn't need to be a binding, it's just a var. We're only looking at that. Okay, but now do I want the index or the value? Let's try that. Oh, index. That for a moment. Okay. Still got a problem. T conform to range expression. Too much noise. Range sub index. Oh, index is int, sorry. Okay, and then I think I can do this then. Index equals max of 0 and index minus 1. Plus 1. It doesn't go above 12. It doesn't go below 2. I don't know. The frame, I'm going to have to put a frame on this. And I don't know how to do that. 40. That should be wide enough for my 2-character ones. Was there a little twinge? No, it looked okay. Okay. Ay. Okay, so we're giving an array of values. Let's make this numerator index. I'll put the range first just to clarify slightly. Okay. Well, that fits what I want better than anything so far. Okay, and then this one, let denominator index equal array. Well, it's just going to be an array. 2, 4, 8, 16. Probably wider than necessary. Sorry, denominator index is 0. No, 1. Okay. And the type. Well, that'll get us started. All right, now I just want to draw a bar from there to there. I don't know how. Let's see. Can I manipulate this divider enough to make it work? Everything you need to know. Okay, well, that'd be handy. I'm sure I can color it and make it thicker. Okay. Size. Okay. And frame width. Can I thickness? Okay, good. Frame width or height of the thickness you want. Okay. Let's try it. Width is 200. Height is 4. T. Oh. Let's get the overlay in there first. Dot overlay. Well, that's kind of getting there. And then we're going to do that same. Is it foreground? I guess deleted that. Okay, let's see that in context. Maybe I'll move this down. Yeah, I think that's not bad. Okay. let's pull that color out and the size. See if I can move this down here. And I don't know if I need it in my label anymore. Oh, preview. I hate to leave that green palette color in there like that, but yeah, let's okay, that seems okay. If I have that on here, I can put it on the collar. Metronome stepper. I can put it out there, I think. Okay, yeah. So that helps. Let's go to the accent color. The resources. Let's add a new color. I actually want this color. I forget why. Oh, select it. Okay. I'm not going to worry about dark just yet. Matter of fact, I don't know if these, yeah, we haven't dealt with that yet. Okay, but I'm going to use this metronome stepper color in here. Now, it seemed like it complained when I took off color here. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah. Okay, for whatever reason. Okay, well, I think that helps. Let's extract these. Let's commit. No. Okay, let's pull this. Okay, well. What do we got? So we got the top basically pulled together. My concern at this point is that this type is a little, it's basically unencapsulated, both the time signature and the values inside it. This symbol, the quarter note, corresponds to 4 here. So we can't just make that local state. It has to be at the metronome level. And yet there's nothing that gives us the note from the quarter note value. So I don't know. Well, let's put the beats per minute in, and then we'll figure from there. Okay, and maybe I'll give my preview. Can I just give it a background? Okay, that helps it little. Let's put the beats per minute in. All right, and I want to pull this file out too. Okay. BPM, okay. Well, he's going to need a binding. I guess that's what he needs. Okay. And then we're going to put a stepper in there. So we need a range for him. Well, I think metronomes usually run like 40 to 240. Tempo ranges. Yeah, this is 170 plus. 240's cooking. Okay. I don't know if they... Can't quite tell. Is that 160, 180, 184? Yeah, Maelzel's metronome. So sometimes you'll see MM for metronome marking, but it was really Maelzel's metronome. Here's another one. 208. 200. Yeah. It's probably comfortable. Okay. Well, he's going to have another stepper, so he's going to need a range. Is array of 40, 220, 240. I don't want to be annoying. Isn't that what we did before? Array equals array of that. Oh. Oh, I don't know. We'll just pick something that'll get us in the ballpark. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can see I don't like this index thing floating through. Yeah, that's not great, but I'm more worried about looks, and then we can come back later and clean up these types, as long as I don't get so far buried that I can't figure them out, I guess. Okay, so that, and then now let's make this a stepper call, just like this guy did, right? Okay, that's not too bad. Let's pull that first. I don't need that. I do just need the BPM. Okay. All right, and then we'll just give him a, just to get some contrast going. Okay. I think that'll work We don't have the blank equals, the something equals. We'll just put it for now as constant. I never know when I hit the globe function if I'm going to get my... Here. Whoops. That or the Siri trying to help. Okay. Quarter note, quarter note. I'm going to try and find the one that looks like the others. Ugh. Yeah, this is it. What? You're supposed to understand Unicode. And why are you so squished? Wow. What is the problem? Well, try the other one, but that's not a good sign. Ugh. Because it suggests when I try and get my 8th and 16ths, I'm going to get messed up. Gah. Why? Okay, let's go find out. I don't know. No. Oh, I can use string of that. Oh no. He still doesn't like it. Oh, golly. Why does he not have his own characters for these? I see quarter. I see a lousy 8th. Is it a font issue? Euterpe. Basic 8th note symbol. I don't know. I think it'll be a problem for another day. All right, let's get the quarter note back. Okay, and let's try and see this in context. Well, it's still very squished. I'm not sure this is truly required. But no plus on the button is definitely not helping anything. Actually, I'll comment him out. Okay, it squished it too much. That does give it some symmetry, but at the cost of squishing it. Now, is that a self-induced problem from this? That width may be too narrow. I hate putting a hard-coded value in there. But on the other hand, I don't see why that should squish it. It seemed like we have plenty of elbow room on the sides. So it's some sort of breathing room question. Okay, let's try that again. Does it look squished in here is my question. Yes. Okay, let's try. And I'm going to squeeze it a little bit. See if that still works. No. Okay, we will look at this at some point in the future for sure. Well, I guess we could check it on the SE, and if it fits there, that's probably the smallest phone that can run this anyway. I don't think anybody's going to be doing this on their Apple Watch. And let's go back to a large title. Just to make it the same as the other one. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, we'll drop it on the SC. I'm not going to worry about it today, but just to see what we're up against. Okay, well, I guess we'll look at that slider too while we're doing things. I wonder. I guess the speed there is a double if I give it an int. Okay, slider value in that's probably enough. Okay, and we're going to give the BPM view is going to have that too. So this is on a VStack. And the slider with no label. We don't really need the name. Really? Are you only for real numbers? Expect argument type int. Wait, what's going on? Stride. Maybe I don't need stride. I believe I've run into this before, and there's some goofy. Yeah. We put the value in a proxy. Ugh. They convert. Tried it before. Ugh. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I'm going to have to do. I can't believe I have to do this. Like, really? Nobody wants int sliders? Come on. So you already got the binding on him? Okay. Oh, I was going to check that first, wasn't I? Well, we'll see. Still launching. Well, that fits. That's good. That needs a little... Oh, he needs a little more room in there. Huh. Okay. He may not fit. The slider needs a little padding. Okay. Where is that stepper? Let's see if that's enough. Well, with not enough padding on this. Wait, he can't even get to his bottom range? And that's too much there. Oh, do I have an H stack on this? This is without the padding. Wow, he's not enough room? I don't know what's going on with this. Okay. And the padding here is not, the range is just limited. That's weird. Okay, let me go back here. I mean, we'll have to deal with this, but okay, the range is 0 to BPM range.count. So we're adjusting BPM index. Oh, I'm glad we don't have any values out of range, but okay. Let's see if that messes up this 16. I was wondering about that before. Where should we proceed by a single space? Yeah. Man, that sizing is not helping anything, is it? Stepper, but no, stepper. 80. We had 40. The real thing is I want it keyed to the maximum width of the values I have, and I don't have a good way to get that. Something's weird though, isn't there? The slider is not. I mean, I understand the range is not right. But this is the. I'm going to make this width a little smaller too. But I thought we had that tweaked enough. See if that's eating into our buttons. Yeah, a little bit. Why? Stepper button. I mean, maybe he's got a size. And there's just an H stack. There's nothing configuring him horizontally to make a difference. And then in our view, the steppers, well, we had time signature view. The steppers are in a V stack, and then in our total view, they're in a V stack down here. So I don't see what constrains the width. And I don't know what that's doing. Okay, that looks a little better. Well, yeah, the slider looks better, I should say. Okay, let's force these buttons to be 40 because that's sort of the standard for buttons. Yeah. Maybe that's 40 height. I don't know. I thought 40 by 40 was sort of supposed to be your minimum size. Okay, let's go back to previewing. Time signature view had a preview. Well, that's just not doing anything, is it? It's like it's giving them padding. Oh, am I putting the width in the wrong place? Yeah, it's not putting it on the text. Okay. Where's... Well, okay. Yeah, this is... We can put the action in there. Ugh. And this is text of minus. He really could benefit from a preview, couldn't he? Okay. Make sure this is kind of coming along. Right. And same thing here. Tweak this while I'm in here. Now, why did it... Oh, it reset the numbers. Okay. Okay, I'm going to let that be. But I can also put spacing 0. Yeah, I think that might be better. Maybe a little more. Okay, let's try that. But the buttons. All right, but now I can. Maybe that padding is not helping. I don't know. Well, that's getting me something there. Let's take this out. I think that's affecting the edge, the width of the whole thing. Okay. Let's run that. It's always tricky to get these frames in the right place in the padding. Stalling. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's better. I haven't worried about vertical padding between these things. The growing, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. This one, he's good on the low end. 2 is too fat, though. Yeah, that's just not right. Okay, so let's look at our metronome stepper. And I'm going to give that. Hey, Tooks, nice to see you. We do some view. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm working on that one. I think. Okay, let me just check this on the high end first. Okay, I think that's acceptable. Let's. Um, so it's some combination of. It's something about how they decide the types they're going in. So, oh, sorry, let me commit it. Add BPM view. So it's like it. So my understanding, and this may be weak, but let's go to one of these. He's some view because he's returning this, and it's actually this very complicated view. It's like a tile wrapper containing a calendar, containing a navigation link, containing a stack, containing a text. Like that's the actual return type. And, you know, and like you can't use it, right? I mean, like you couldn't, if you had to explain the actual type of this thing, it's some crazy nested deep thing. And so I think some view is sort of a way of like letting it accept whatever that type is and then just kind of drop it in and live with it. But yeah, I'm still trying to understand that more deeply because there's some view and there's any view. I mean, you could say any. There's three things. There's three. Well, there's four options. You can have view, you can have some view, you can have any view, and you can have any view. Which any view, the last one is a type that's specifically designed to strip off the view type of things. And so I think what the consequence of any view is, like it has to go to a very it can't trust the type that's inside. It just has to kind of treat it more like, I don't know what you are, I better redraw you, that kind of stuff. But I can't explain the difference between any view and some view. And I feel like I'm on the edge of it too. But it's definitely something to do with the fact that these things have horrendous types. And like there was a couple versions of Switch UI back, you could only have 10 things in a single view. And that's because they had to define all these possible things statically. They've introduced some sort of extension of like very variadic length, multiple length types, kind of like you can do for, you can say, the type is event. I could say event ... and inside it would kind of be treated like an array, but when I call it, I don't have to put it in an array. They did something like that for views, so they don't have to limit that. But I don't know. I mean, I have the mechanical understanding of like view has a body that must return some view, and because we know it's some view, we can just kind of trust whatever's inside, and we don't have to explain the whole exact type, which is way too complicated for humans. But like when else I should do that, I don't know. I think I've maybe had a situation with like trying to hold views in an array or something, and it was weird to try and get through. Like, are they some views? Is an array of some view? Maybe I don't think it maybe likes to do that. I don't know if that's legal or not. Yeah, it doesn't like that version, and you couldn't say they were views because they're not all the same type or something, so I don't know. But mechanically do it on, when you declare a view, bar body some view, and then you don't have to be specific about the type here. That's the sort of bare mechanics thing that gets me through the day. I mean, I feel like there's something deeper to understand that just my background in whatever type stuff I've seen just doesn't quite get me there. So I don't know. There are a couple of WWDC has some videos on that difference, like, and they go through, like, their examples like a farm, and they do it in such a way that each animal eats the right food, you know, and it's like it knows how to tie the right ones together. But I mean, I think that helped me, but it didn't really get me over the top, if I could say it that way. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of type theory that's just kind of beyond where I am. I feel like I understand the, you know, and types being structs have, you know, you have all these types in them, and then enums have these alternative types, you know, they're or types, you know, sort of like struct and union in C, you know, when Pascal had something similar, even going back even further. It's an old concept, but for some reason Java didn't include the unions. They just figured you could do it with classes, and I probably got warped by that too much. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff going on. I was trying to do some operator kind of stuff, and it felt like there was just almost enough type mechanism to do it and not quite enough for me. And yet, you know, again, I don't see where that boundary is or the difference. Yeah, that's true. I kind of wish it were. It'd be interesting to see some of that, but like some is handled by the compiler, so you'd have to be digging in that. I mean, I guess maybe that is open. I can't remember. But I think it's, you know, there's something conceptually there. I should probably see, like, where do they get that concept? You know, is it a Haskell thing, or some other one of these, you know, functional type languages where they've been exploring what types can be. I just went through, there's a book called The Little Typer, and it's these guys that did The Little Lisp and all these other books. And they basically have, you can have types that, like, they can handle, the type itself knows the range of the values it can handle and stuff like that, you know, and that's not in here yet as far as I can tell, but it's like there's definitely action going on in those things. Yeah, the optionals are pretty decent. You know, it's like they've been bolting it into Java lately. You know, they have like IntelliJ will do some of that for you, and I don't know if the language is going to adopt that. But, you know, at least certain mistakes you don't make unless you really go out of your way to do it. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff. Okay, let's get back to the metronome view. So I've got this piece on the bottom and this piece on the top, but we haven't done the grid. Oh, it's going to be interesting. All right, so this is, well, let's extract out BPM view first. And all this, we're not actually implementing the metronome yet, but when we do, all this is going to come back to us. Oops, let's get the preview too. And I don't know, we'll have to see. Some of this is going to be wrong. Okay, BPM view, good. I wish it would bring the imports it needs with it. Okay. Let's do a build, make sure everything's clean. Okay. All right, and time is getting a little short for me. Let me bump into my lunch a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so the last view on Metronome view, what's called a sound grid. And what's it gonna need? Okay. Now, I think what he's going to have, he basically, the number of columns here corresponds to the numerator here. I don't know if we can fit 16 columns in. But it's like however many beats you have, you want to choose the sound for each one. And okay, let's get this back to a portrait view. Well, let's just turn that off. It'll do portrait by default, I think. Okay. Now, I've spent some time looking at grid. And we ended up doing a lazy V grid on the front page, but I think we can feed in. You feed in these rows. And I think you can put a loop in there. Yeah. Okay. So this is almost the kind of thing I'm going to do. Let's take that for a start. Okay. I don't need the text. And I don't need... Well, he's taking up so darn much. All right, let's see our other view. Okay, so he's filling the screen with it. Okay. All right. Well, I think 4 is going to be a good start just to get a feel for stuff. But these colors .red let's say frame, and I'm just going to make it button size, width 40, height 40. I don't know if that's standard. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can get it shaped to what we want. Okay. And now if I had 8, can I fit? Just. Okay. So what we're gonna have coming in is the size. I'll say beats is an int. Okay, and so this should be beats. All right. And I deleted something. Okay. Oh, it must be an integer literal. Ugh. Why, if it's a warning, did you fail to build? Huh? Oh, okay. Okay. That box around the outside is just a result of the simulator stuff. We'll go to this view. Okay, and then we'll need a little more room between these. That's going to be on the content view. Whoops, but not this one. Can I say ID? Yeah. Okay, so I'm promising they'll be different. Well, I hate waiting for this. Try build. All right, and I'm not going to use red and green and blue. I'm going to use our colors and white, and basically it's going to act like, I think we'll just restrict them to one. So whichever one you click, no, it could be 0 too. We'll see. There it goes. Okay. All right, that spacing's a little much, but tolerable. All right, these will be buttons, and they'll work in the context of one thing. Okay, I guess I'm going to define an enum. And we may get rid of this thing in the end. I don't know. Enum sounds. Tick, tock, and pock. Or this is the way I'm describing it. So soft, medium, and loud. And what you're going to get is an array of, let's make this beat count. And you're going to get an array of beats that's an array of sound. All right. I guess that's the sounds. That's beats. Am I missing one? Okay, let's try preview again. Okay, he's trying. Now, part of it to me is the beat count. This beat could have more than it promises in the count, but it'll have at least that many. We'll worry about initializing that and setting that all up later, but we're going to go through the beat count and then we're going to choose what to show. Oh, come on. I don't know if I stop him. My disk is going like crazy. Okay, that's done. Go back. I know I'm just slowing myself down if I do that. Okay, that stopped spinning. That's a good sign. Come on. I think I need a fifth color here. Got the background. Maybe I just use the green and the pink. Oh, I just can't wait long enough. All right. I want to be done in the next few minutes. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to look at my beats and decide if this sound matches. Yeah, that, except it's going to be, this one is POC. All right, where's my assets. I'm going to use palette middle 2 or special text. Okay, let's see if this will. Parameter v could not be conferred. If beat index equals POC. He should be an int, right? Parameter v and call to initializer for each. Well, why when I ignored that? Is that legal? Okay. Well, let's put this in struct. Now that one's okay. All right. Let's do. Okay, I'm tired of waiting for that. I'm just going to run. Okay, I think that's something. All right, it's certainly more or less what we set out to build. So we're going to call it a wrap there. I'll check this in, and Monday we'll be back 2 to 4:30 Eastern Time, 7 to 9:30 p.m. UTC, and we'll be back on the initializing our database so it keeps values between runs. Thanks for watching along today if you were here, and hope to catch you later. Bye-bye.